Top 20 high school basketball matchup coming from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Springfield and Blake Arena, the site. Number 20 ranked Prolific Prep of California and La Lumiere of Indiana, number 15 in the ESPN Top 25. Yesterday, Jaden, Ivey, only 4 points against 22nd ranked Gonzaga, but they won. The big reason why, his 4 points were explosive. This final seconds securing the dub, a giant one for La Lumiere's Geico National Championship hopes. With recruiting analyst Adam Finkelstein, Mike Watts on hand, Jalen Green is at the top of every college coach's wish list.
He is, and he is one of these guys that's going to be in the NBA sooner rather than later. Number 3 in the ESPN 100. I'll tell you what, he's not going to get any lower than that. Might he get higher? We'll see. He's got a shot.
And Jaden Ivey signed with Purdue, the 84th ranked player in this senior class.
Skilled big guard, hero of the game yesterday, despite the fact that he didn't play well, looking to shoot the ball better today.
2 matchups featuring teams in the top 20 to close out the night here. La Lumiere and Prolific Prep, and then on ESPN at 7:30 when this one's done. Flip on over. It's Montverde and IMG. This one's got plenty of storylines. Ball in the air, taken by Prolific Prep out of California. Jalen Green, of course, getting so much the accolades. Amari Burnett, Texas Tech recruit, number 21 in the country as well. Coleman Hawkins, well-regarded, headed to Illinois.
Amari Burnett, a second 5-star prospect for Prolific Prep. The other guy you're going to want to watch at home.
Hawkins up high, and Mawat Mag, who's going to join Coach Peichel at Rutgers next year, lays it in.
Steve Peichel gradually building that Rutgers program.
Meanwhile, for La Lu, not a team with a ton of ranked talent, only 1 in the top 100. That's not going to hold them back. Wendell Green Jr. is headed to EKU. They're excited about him. Jeremy Sohan, they think, is good as well.
Yeah, and don't sleep on Wendell Green. He was the best player on the floor for large stretches yesterday. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he can put points on the board.
Hawkins, Mag, not all the points so far.
Good decision there by Hawkins. Drew that second defender, made the extra pass. Mag with the easy finish.
This classic, at minimum a split to feel like you're going to get back into Geico's to begin with, much less make a run.
Well, La Lumiere reminds me a lot of Sunrise in that job. He hired Sam Mitchell along with Mike Miller. Sam Mitchell, the former NBA coach. Well, Sam Mitchell had coached Jalen Green's Adidas team, EAB, this summer. This is 2 summers ago now, so there was the perception that Memphis would be a favorite. Now, obviously, Coach Mitchell not there anymore. Jalen moved over and played EYBL this summer, so that storyline doesn't really exist. But the point being is that Memphis, and Penny Hardaway in particular, has invested himself in recruiting Jalen Green from the moment he got that job.
Green was looking for a give and go. Did get it and did score.
Really impressed by Hawkins' feel for the game and ability to facilitate here. That looks like a simple play, but a quick little ball.
Hawkins skies to grab the rebound. Jalen Green knocks down a 3.
Saw Jalen Green in the downstairs and coming out of the locker room before this one. He had a lot of energy. It was very clear he was ready to go.
Lumiere off from Ivey. Burnett. Terrific finish.
Yeah.
And Green's flexing on his way up the floor.
Great. Everybody's flexing today. I think you and I should flex. There you go. It's a shame that wasn't on camera.
And no, not that Memphis, the Grizzlies.
There you go.
Triple good from Coleman Hawkins.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Spacing the floor, making shots, facilitating for others. Illinois got themselves a good one.
Little give and go action. They can score close to the rim. And yes, he can knock it down from distance. The number 3 player in the class, the top unsigned recruit, leading Pro Prep to an 11-point lead.
And get another look at it here. Kevin Love style long outlet on the money and a big time finish. Using his body.
Try it again.
you know, Nimari Burnett is one of those culture carriers, meaning he's a guy who you go in and he's going to be able to improve the quality of your locker room from day one. He's got all the intangibles. He plays so hard. Guys love playing with him.
Wendell Green Jr. hits a three-star recruit committed to EKU back in November. They talking about what a steal he is. But with Burnett,
prolific prep. Opened up this lead game with a ton of energy, opening up a big lead. But Lumiere has hung around, continued to fight back. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot to like about that young big guy. He got off his...
I wonder if part of that is the fact that it's so much harder in the college game to get a 7-footer that can do that. We talk about the top ones that can do that, but that's not everybody.
Well, you know what I think is part of it? I think part of it is finding enough high-level shot makers to play with enough spacing and rely on the three-point shot as much as a lot of teams do in the NBA these days. It's a lot different.
Not paying attention to the game that preceded them.
It's a good drive.
Tough finish from Ivey.
Yeah, and that's a smart thing to do. When you can't get a jumper to fall, you got to put some pressure on the rim, try and draw some contact. Great strategy to get yourself to the free throw line if you're a shooter in a bit of a slump.
Yeah, and if you're a guy headed to the Big Ten, you better be able to finish plays like that.
That's pretty.
Hawkins with the floater is also headed to the Big Ten. He's going to be fighting Illini next year.
Very
universe. Terrific finish on the floater as prolific prep begins to reassert themselves. Jalen Green getting involved, and it's a quiet 7.
Yeah, tough shot there. Elevated, overshot it a little bit, but because it was on line, he got the fortune of the good bounce.
Got him up to 9 points, rather. Off the shot fake.
These guys both teams are really defending right now. Missed that rotation on the way down. Hawkins came out to stop the ball, and Mag didn't rotate down quite soon enough.
3 on the money from Hawkins.
Very impressed with him tonight. At his size, with that wiry body type that's going to keep filling out, to be able to stretch the floor, facilitate for others with his passing ability.
Burnett spots. The tip out goes right to Mag. Pope turned it down. Burnett. There's a foul away from the ball.
Oh, they've got an intentional foul.
Believe it or not, that's the second time we've seen an intentional foul today.
Well, the first one was I didn't get a good look at this one, but I know the first one was definitely warranted.
Yeah.
See it here. Watch Coleman Hawkins. Oh, yeah. Can't do that.
Denim Wojcik, the man who took this out. Day 2 of 3 of our wall-to-wall coverage. The Hoophall Classic.
And, you know, we've talked a lot about the plays of the decade, but I think the platform that ESPN has given high school basketball over the last decade and continues to going into the new decade with the amount of coverage we've had this weekend is just a lot of fun and a great opportunity for these kids and programs.
Four-second difference between shot and game clock. Green skying up Sohan. 8 seconds.
Got plenty of time.
Nope. The other way, tossed ahead. Hawkins stripped. And that was a wild 20 seconds that ends with no points. 4-point game at the half. I'm not sure we've talked enough about how short his shorts are. Now that's old school. And Ivey streaks to the basket, gets points 5 and 6 of the day for him.
The baggy shorts are out. Shooting the ball like we know he's capable of, he's going to be as good as we expected.
Sohan looked like he was soaring for a dunk. Will settle for a lay-in. 2-point game.
But what a pocket pass there by Wojcik. That was pretty. Splitting the defenders with the ball, bouncing it right up, hitting his target in the waist.
Green, great find. Pope down the lane.
They're going to have numbers, 5-on-1.
Leaving it off, and the foul. Kamari Lands will go to the line with a chance to tie this one up in the opening 2 minutes of the second half.
Here's this pass. That's a pocket pass, folks. You engage both defenders. You slip the ball right through to the roller to the rim. See it again. Perfectly executed. Not many guys in high school who can throw that pass are surely legitimate, but it's almost too early to count at this point. He's clearly got the attributes to play at that highest level so long as he continues to work and improve on the path that he's currently on.
Terrific from Hawkins. By the way, Lands has two cousins playing D1 ball, Jalen and Isaiah Coleman Lands. Miami, Ohio, and DePaul.
See the spacing they play with, how they're able to stretch out that prolific defense.
Lands gets it back to one again. Yeah, 6.
11th hour audible for sure.
That doesn't go. Chance there for Lumiere to take the lead. Now Prolific Prep can try and stretch it out again.
But when you look at the amount of top players from last year's class who have cut their season short, whether it's R.J. Hampton or Lonzo Ball playing internationally, or guys like Cole Anthony, James Wiseman locally, you wonder how much he's going to play next year. Amari Burnett doing what he does, going through bodies. Hoop and the harm.
I asked who's a better fisherman. It's not close. It's Thompson. And it's Green from downtown.
Great read coming off that pin down. Faded that screen just a little bit.
And the ESPN 100 is sitting on 12 points.
And when he's shooting the ball like that, and you can see the progression in his basketball IQ, the way he's able to execute now on both ends of the floor, and put it all together, he's probably the most dynamic athlete we have, certainly the most athletic guard in the ESPN 100.
Thompson this time gets the layup to go.
Misdirection with the eyes there from Rogic, fooled the defense. Opened up the easy lane at the rim.
They have been fishing for a foul as well.
Look out.
Green. Hawkins gets the roll.
See, that's the progression. I think a year ago he would have tried to double clutch that ball, go up and around. Instead, he got his teammate a wide open layup.
Team high 14 for Coleman Hawkins, who's headed to Illinois. Grabbed by Sohan, and on the kick out. 3 is good from Kamari Lands. 4-point game again, 9 for Lands on the day.
Yeah, he makes those spot-up shots at a consistent clip. As he gets older and keeps growing into his body, he's able to speed up his release. That should become only an increasing weapon.
Burnett into the paint, fouled by Lands.
But the spacing with which Prolific Prep had around Burnett's attack was why he had that room to operate. They had both.
Green, after that Lumiere game, said big stage, love playing on ESPN. And he's stunned again on ESPN. He's got 15 now.
Individual talent. Well, if they're not continuing to improve at every step, then what's to lead you to believe they're going to keep improving at the next level?
Rebound Green ahead to Wetzel, who's able to finish beyond the outstreach Wojcik.
Pushing the lead to 11. Prolific Prep stringing it together.
Shot clock turned off, and Lumiere's got to get across half court, and they do. Beat it by about 2 seconds. And getting all the way to the rim, and the offensive struggles continue to follow by Ivey, who is going to be critical in the 4th quarter.
Even though he scored, though, Prolific's got the ball back and a chance to get it back. Oh, he flopped.
They didn't call the flop, did call out of bounds. 2.7 left.
I think that's the call you don't get when it's already 8-2.
Fair.
Got to be very careful to not foul here.
Green missed from 3/4 court earlier.
Great speed.
Green, ball bounces away at the horn. Close, but no cigar for Lands. But Jalen Green has begun to really take over this basketball game.
The most dynamic, athletic guard in the class, but I'll tell you what, he is a budding shot maker off the dribble, off the catch, creating space and burying jumpers.
Quarter high tide for Prolific, and that's dipped again here to start the 4th.
Yeah, that certainly played with spurts. Nice find.
And a right-handed conversion by Mawat Mag, who also missed time in the Lumiere game. He's eaten through a straw. He broke bones in his face in December, but he's healthy now.
Jalen Green creating for others. It's another area of his game that has really grown. second time today he's come off the ball screen, found the roll man for an easy 2.
They're going to call over and back. It was untouched. Green setting up the first field goal in the fourth quarter for Pro Prep.
So see the space. See, as soon as he came off that hedge man, his eyes were immediately.
That makes it a 7-point game. The last lead for Lumiere was 3 points to 2 in the opening minute of the game.
And Prolific's a little flat right now. I think that, this gym's pretty quiet. They don't have the same energy they opened the game with, and they better be careful here because we're getting to crunch time. And Lumiere's putting themselves in a position to steal this one.
It's been an interesting game. You think at the end of the third quarter, high tide for Prolific, and that's dipped again here to start the fourth.
Yeah, that certainly played with spurts. Nice find.
And a right-handed conversion by Mawat Mag, who also missed time in the Lumiere game. He's eaten through a straw. He broke bones in his face in December, but he's healthy now.
Jalen Green bobbled that catch there. I think he was looking to step into it.
Ivey 0 for 4 today from 3, made his first in a critical moment.
Cuts into a 2-possession game, and the same thing we saw yesterday. Ivey delivers when it matters most. A heck of a time to make his first 3. Watch the hesitation when he catches the ball here. Didn't get in complete rhythm, kind of slows himself down to get his balance. Drills his first 3 of the weekend here at Springfield College. One more look at it. See that slight hesitation? Just making sure.
Latest of big men making their way to Purdue, looking to be developed into a all Big Ten kind of player.
So they were trying to get Jalen Green on a back cut there out of that huddle. Ivey did a good job of shutting it down. Oh, wow.
Green all the way. It's pinned to the rim. Mag puts it in.
What a pursuit of the basketball that time by Mag. You saw a flash of the dynamic type of athleticism that Green is capable of when he slashed to that rim, but Mag was equally quick reacting to that play and basically just willing it in the basket.
Ivey a little slow to get up, but Steve Pikiell's got to be happy about what Mag's done.
Well, talk about a guy who fits the system. Mag is going to be great for Coach Pikiell, a guy who is all about defense, rebounding, and maximum effort.
Turning the corner, lands. Terrific off the window, and again it's cut down to 6.
Yeah, it's a high-level records, but even prior to that, when he was building up his programs at Stony Brook.
7-point game. Ivey contact, rolls it in. Chance to get it down to 4 with 101 ticks to go.
So again, a very similar story to last night. Jaden Ivey can't buy a bucket for most of the game, but down the stretch, he brings the goods, going into the body, hoop and the harm. Chance for the 3-point play.
Green to the basket. Won't count, but he was fouled.
It may not have counted, but you saw the type of burst that this guy has. Add that to the ability to make plays for others that he's shown tonight. Add that to the budding shot making that he showed tonight. And you know why he's still a guy who's in contention for that #1 ranking.
That's the 4th on Ivey. And Green goes to the line on 17 points.
So again, it didn't count, but watch the first step. Hits that gas, able to initiate some contact. 90 seconds, especially in a high school game.
Downtown jumper in from Ivey, his second 3 of the 4th. After 7 quarters without a 3 to start the weekend.
And that's the guy we've seen over the years in recent months. That super soft shooting touch, capable of getting hot in a hurry. He has been tremendous down the stretch of this one. A pair of 3s. Watch the quick release, and that one's deep. Here's another look. Different angle, great camera work. Tremendous rotation, and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Number 7 IMG Academy on ESPN and here on the ESPN app.
You get a great finish before that one, though. Jalen Green sizing his man up.
Green, 2,
wow.
Good.
Nothing you can do about that.
Initially, the referee pointed for a 2. They're going to call it a 3.
I'm calling it big time.
Ivey, no contact.
It was contact. I think the officials just thought the offensive player initiated to extend this one.
Jack Wetzel out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
So this is a big one because it would make it a 3-possession game.
Wetzel's taking officials to Utah State, Nevada, and UC Irvine already. Missed them both.
They need something quick. Scoring quickly is more important than getting a 3 here.
Green bounces all the way out. Ivey is fouled this time. Basket doesn't go. It's against Jordan Pope. 3 free throws coming. Ice water in his veins. Ivey headed to Purdue, the 84th ranked player in the ESPN 100. Has not had a great shooting weekend.
Had a pretty good last 10 minutes, though.
How
about that sound? Isn't that a great sound?
Yeah. Ivey again to make it a 1-possession game.
I mean, he was not nervous at all. Makes it a 1-possession game. They got to give a foul. What are we doing?
Green eventually fouled.
It's going to make very difficult for Lalu here. Now, regardless of if it's 4 or 5, Lalu does not necessarily need a 3. They just need the quickest score they can get, and then they have to stop the clock.
Timeout Prolific Prep. 24 points for Green. Lumiere needs a miracle. Green around the screen. Tries a 3. Off the mark. Jalen Green fouled and has a chance to add to his game-high 24 and get Prolific Prep back in the win column.
You know, it was a tremendously efficient 24-point performance, maybe about to become 26.
Looking to take a curtain call and can. 26 of the 69. A very nice game for Prolific Prep. 7-point victory. And their 20th win of the year comes in the hand of a team that knocked them off and left this team in desperate need of a turnaround. For Adam Finkelstein, our entire production team, Mike Watt saying so long from the Hoophall Classic. Coming up 7:30 on ESPN, number 7 IMG Academy and number 1 Montford. We can't wait. See you soon.